Here, I am going to explain a little more detail on what mechanical engineers should know about materials and manufacturing processes in machine design. When designing a machine, what is required of design engineers? It may be the balanced perception of quality, cost, and delivery. This is often called QCD with respect to their initials. A product with higher quality satisfies the requirements with small variations of them. A machine, first of all, must achieve the required functionality. However, products with significant variations are difficult to be managed even if they have higher functionality. Variation of functionality negatively influence the costs and delivery time. You may think the improvement of product performance is the most important issue in machine design, but you should be noted that the reduction of variation in the product performance is another important factor in machine design. Needless to say, lowering the cost of a product, of course, is more preferred by customers. The basic concept of manufacturing is how to make good products at lower cost. So, cost may be the most important factor that must be considered when selecting material and its processing method. In order to reduce costs, the availability of various shapes and sizes of materials, such as plates and rods, should be considered at the material selection stage. Then, its processing and price also need to be considered. For example, do you think which material should a design engineer select? Material A, lower price but difficult to process, or material B, expensive but easy to process. Of course, the opinions of the engineers engaged in the issue may be different. The knowledge of materials and their manufacturing processes you are about to learn is necessary for you to actively participate in such arguments. Considering about cost does not mean you should simply look for a material of the lowest price. Materials available at lower prices may require a lot of time and effort for their processing. In such case, you may not successfully reduce the cost. When selecting a material, you should consider both the availability of the material and time and effort required for processing it into the desired shape. So, in the selection of materials, you should also note that the variety of raw materials, such as shape and size. In addition to the price of materials, you must consider other factors related to cost expense, including labor, processing machines, electricity. Product failures may cause additional expenses for repairs and disposals. These factors should be reviewed in a comprehensive manner when selecting a material. Delivery time is also important. Delivery must be considered when designing a machine, especially if the machine is a product to be delivered to customers. Regarding delivery time, the following 2 points of view should be considered when selecting a material. The first point is whether the material has a short delivery time or not. If it takes a long time, such as several months, for delivery after the order is made. One may not deal with the case of sudden troubles. The next point is whether the material is available from 2 or more suppliers. This is also related to the point above about the short delivery. If there are 2 suppliers or more, we still can keep access to the material, even if a supplier stops selling the material. Relying only on a single supplier for materials, the company is exposed to the risk of losing the power of pricing, no matter the product performance. When selecting a material, you should have the viewpoint of stable material supply during the production period of the machine. Awareness of QCD is, in a sense, maybe more important in machine design rather than the familiarity with the detailed specialized knowledge. You are learning the knowledge of materials and processing methods because such knowledge allows rational consideration about QCD. Balancing of QCD in your design also results in minimizing the overall cost in society. Here, the overall cost is the cost spent in the production, usage by the customers, and disposal process after completing its lifetime. You may notice that not only knowledge of materials and manufacturing processes, but also years of experience is required to participate in such argument.